Hey everybody, Miss Minnie Lover here, and today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little notebooks with the binding on it. Well, a realistic looking binding. But the only thing about these is they open and everything, but the binding isn't actually, the binding isn't actually real. It isn't actually used for binding, it's just for decoration. I did try to make it so that it would actually hook into the notebook, but it was so hard I couldn't do it. So basically what I did was I got online and I went to like ask.com or Google and I looked up different images that I thought would be cute for a notebook, and I just came up with a bunch of little pictures here, and whoops, that's upside down. And the reason I have multiples is because I thought maybe I could make multiples of them if I made like a little grocery store, or if somebody really wanted one of the notebooks that I made, I could easily send them in the mail for like a really cheap price out of my pocket. And what I did was the images did not come this small. I actually copied and pasted the normal size image and put it into a Word document. And then I went to Jim's Printables, which I will link his site down below. I found 1/12 scale sheets of paper that go into a notebook because that's the size, that's the scale of my dollhouse. And then I pasted this into the Word document, and then I decreased the size of the photos that I had found online and matched them up with the size of these papers, and that's how I got the good size notebooks. So right here I have some of them cut out. They don't have like backs to them, but that's okay. I don't really mind. I just stick them in there as long as like I can open it up and it looks like there's like lined paper in there. That's okay. And I printed out a polka dot one. I have a polka dot one here, but maybe I'll give this one away to somebody. And alright, night. And basically what you want to do, you just want to, I use about 6 of those lined sheets in here in the notebooks, and then I just kind of sandwich them together, and I make it even and make sure that the space on the lined paper is on the top so you're not gluing it wrong. And then just line it up and just kind of make it really neat. And if you need to trim it, go ahead, just take a pair of scissors and trim some of it, because you know you're not going to make perfect cuts. And then where you want the binding to be, hold it really tight and get some glue. And I have some tacky glue here. I'm going to try to get some out. And squeeze it along the binding. Some dabs of glue. And then you're going to want to take your finger and press it into the binding so that it reaches all the pages. And then you're going to want to take something like, I actually have some medical forceps that I use. I think you can get them at hobby stores too. And you're just going to want to clamp it and let it dry, and then like do some trimming if you need to. But I'm actually not going to, I'm going to let this dry without the clamp. You don't even need the clamp. You can actually just put something heavy on it. So just for right now, I'm going to do that because I like to use my forceps to make the binding. Now, for the metal binding, I'm actually using a 0.3mm beading wire, and the reason I'm using this is because it's very thin wire, and it works very well. It's to scale, and I think it looks really good. Well, I think it's to scale. And you're going to pull some of that wire out, and then I have some sewing patch pins, but you don't have to use these. You could probably just use like a sewing needle or something. And then I like to clamp the wire to the pin, and then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to wrap it around several times, and you're going to want to keep them really tight together. So you're going to wrap it around, push it with your finger, wrap it around, push it with your finger, and just keep doing the same thing until it's a very tight coil on the pin. You're going to do this for probably a little bit over half of the pin, but just eye it. You'll get it, and you can trim them when you're done if it's too long. So just keep going with it. Keep wrapping it around. pushing it tight, wrapping around, pushing it tight. I actually did this entire video and I was so tired that when I put it on my computer, I accidentally erased it. Oops. So I'm doing this over again. Keep wrapping it around. Go a little bit quicker. Okay, and as you can see, I have it wrapped all the way around this, and what you're going to want to do is let your forceps go, pull the needle out, and now you have a curled binding, and you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut where it ends. Where are my scissors? Oh, in my lap. So I'm just going to cut that. So I have my binding. I'm going to set my scissors and things aside, and I'm going to take the notebook that I just did the binding with. I'm just going to sort of eye it and kind of make sure it's long enough, and if you have excess on the end, glue it first and then trim it. So again, where you glued the binding before, you're going to put a little more glue. I'm using tacky glue. You can probably use any glue that you want. I don't think that anybody should be too picky about the glue. I mean, it'll stick. It's just some light wire. Okay, and then you're going to take your binding, and this may take a little manipulating because as you can see it's not perfectly straight, so you're going to have to just stick it on and just kind of press it on there. And you're going to want to put it on the middle, just in the middlemost part of your binding so it sticks out and you can really see that really cool detail. And I just love it. I think it looks so realistic. It just adds that touch to it, I think. And you can see just as it's drying, just kind of press it in, you know, make it mold to where you want it. And then when that dries, just trim it, and it looks like a cute little notebook. And when it's trimmed and dried, it would look like this. Let me see if I can. I wonder if putting it behind a white piece of paper can make you see the. There, so you can see the binding a little bit better. And I actually left a little bit of curly cues at the end there, like, cause it looks like sort of like the notebook's been used, and you know how the wiring starts to come loose a little bit when it's used. And I really like that. So I have several different ones. You can even like look up, type in one subject notebook, and in an image search engine, and you can even find one with like the words on it and things like that. So looks really cool. I looked up flowers, like a kitten, some more flowers, and just made a whole variety. You can even make notebooks with the spiral at the top. Just do the same thing that you did with the binding here, but do it on the top, and you can make like a really cute flip notebook. And Jim's Printables has really nice yellow pages for those flip notebooks, so that's really nice. Again, I mean, they open but not through the binding, but that's okay. And you can also use like your own pictures that you take and things like that. So yeah, I just thought it was cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will have more tutorials up in the next 2 weeks or so. I have qualification exams coming up for grad school, so I'll be working really hard on those, and I won't have time to make any videos, but afterwards I'll have the whole summer to make lots of videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. See you later.